Welcome back everybody to the 6th video tutorial for the NETGEAR AirCard Smart Cradle model DC112A. In this particular video tutorial I will demonstrate how to enable dynamic DNS as well as register for a free NETGEAR dynamic DNS account through NoIP if you don't already have an existing dynamic DNS account. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is firstly set up the APN profile to Telstra.extranet. Now, in order for dynamic DNS remote management to work successfully, you need to have an APN which is providing you with a real IP address. So by default, Telstra provides the Telstra.internet APN. Which is a default profile created on our mobile hotspots. That particular APN profile sits behind a firewall, which is usually NATed, so it doesn't provide you with a real IP address. In order to get Telstra.extranet provisioned on your SIM card, what you need to do is call Telstra on 125111. And ask the operator to add the code GPTEXB3 added to your SIM card, which is the code that's displaying on the screen at the moment. So once the operator has added that particular code to your SIM card, that will allow you to provision the Telstra.extranet APN through the mobile hotspot. So what you need to do is bring up your web browser, and to get to your mobile hotspot, it will be 192.168.1.1 or m.home. Once you're in, you can log in with your admin details. So the default password is admin, but if you have modified that and you have forgotten your admin password, you'll need to reset your mobile hotspot back to factory defaults. So once you've logged in, click on settings, then click on network and click on APN. And what we want to do is we want to add a new APN profile, which is Telstra.extranet, and this is the default profile that comes with your service. So Telstra.internet is the default profile, but we'll add a new one. So the name, I'll just name it Telstra Extranet. The APN is Telstra.extranet, and we'll leave everything else as default. Click on save. So one thing I'll quickly show you is when you're on the Telstra.internet profile, which sits behind a firewall and is usually NATed, you'd probably get a 10 dot address. Then once you switch over to the Telstra.extranet profile, you should see a 120 address, which allows you which is a real IP address displaying on the internet. So that basically shows you how to provision the APN profile. We'll continue with the rest of the tutorial. So once again, you will need to open up your web browser and type in 192.168.100.1 into the address bar, or netgear.cradle, and then you will also need to log in with the admin login details. Once again, the default login details are located on the label underneath the Smart Cradle, and if you have modified this information and have forgotten, the only way around it is to actually reset the Cradle back to factory defaults through the reset hole. So I've logged in. I'm on the web user interface. I need to click on advanced, and then I need to click on advanced setup, and then I need to click on dynamic DNS. So basically, dynamic DNS will monitor the WAN IP address and keep updating it constantly. So all an end user would need to do is actually type in a host name to access either the remote management capabilities, the USB share drive, or a USB printer that's plugged in from outside of the network. So first thing you need to do is actually tick the box that says use a dynamic DNS service, and then you've got this drop down box here. So if you select noip.com, it actually allows you to add your current noip.com details. So with this particular service you need to actually pre-register with noip.com, and same with the www.dindns.org. If you use any of these two, so noip.com or www.dindns.org, you would need to pre-register with that particular service before you can actually add your details. But the good thing about the DC112A NETGEAR AirCard Smart Cradle is it actually provides you with a free dynamic DNS account through NoIP. So basically I'll select NETGEAR. Here it says, do you have a NETGEAR DDNS or a NoIP DDNS account? I'll say no, because I don't have one and I want to register a new one. And then I've got the host name here. So for this particular example, I'll just type in video tutorial test, and that will set up the host name as videotutorialtest.mynetgear.com. Email address, just punch in your particular email address. So for this I'll just type in and a password to access the account. So I'll punch in a password, and all I need to do is click on register, and that's done. So my host name is videotutorialtest.mynetgear.com. So what I can do now is, if I've got remote management enabled, instead of punching in the IP address followed by the port number, what I can do is I can actually type in videotutorialtest.mynetgear.com, and then the port number 8443, and that should take me to the web user interface for remote management capabilities. If you have a USB drive plugged in, and as I said before, for a mobile hotspot you'll need to have a SIM card provision with an APN that's providing you with the public IP address, so either telstra.extranet or telstra.bigpond. What it will do is it'll allow you to actually map your network drive using the dynamic DNS server address. So I just use that particular address, punch that into my web browser plus my USB share name. So I'll just do USB share drive, and if the USB drive was plugged in, that would just take me to a web page, and it would show me all the files that were actually on my USB share drive. So that concludes the dynamic DNS setup for the NETGEAR AirCard Smart Cradle. Thank you again for watching.